team has done the whole trial. Hurry, 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 so they can wait. We were all ready for it. There was a letter they sent saying they wanted it moved up to September 22nd. We were waiting for a legal showdown. In the court, it was all done teleconference. It was all done teleconference. And what's more, Diddy's team agreed to the October 3rd, but they want reports early. And if anything, everybody in the courtroom collectively rolled their eyes. Again, they were in the overflow room. They did not let anybody into the courtroom. Everybody collectively rolled their eyes because at the end of the day, this is more legal finagling. And it actually angered a lot of people, even when they heard that news. Why? Because you have to look at it. Diddy's team, at least I believe, rolled their eyes because at the end of the day, this is more legal finagling. And it actually angered a lot of people, even when they heard that news. Why? Because you have to look at it. Diddy's team, at least I believe, they won on technicalities. They won on a trial by ambush. And it looks like for this pre-sentencing report where there's going to be a lot of character witnesses, a lot of character letters wrote to the judge, good and bad. They're once again trying to run the clock off and win by a technicality.
Never sue the other
wasn't allowed in the main courtroom. Again, this was all done, looked like via a secured Zoom call, okay? We could have literally just phoned this in, but you know the citizens of New York, they don't like anything taped, and you're not allowed to get into the live feed, I guess, unless you're one of the parties joining. However, they were generous enough to let everybody go into the overflow room. That is when they put the Zoom call on the big feed. Again, Mark Agnifilio's comedy show was in full effect. Again, when the screens came on, Mark Agnifilio was like, Sean, is that you? Trying to be funny. Again, who are you performing for? I guess he's performing for his public. He said this was the best closing he ever did. He is still on a high. He literally said, Sean, is that you? Diddy said, yeah, where are you? He said, oh, I'm in my office. Again, they could have done this off camera, but they wanted everybody to get into the flow. They asked, is the government on? The government was very dry. Yes, we're here. I guess they're still licking their wounds, okay? And then all of a sudden, the deputy said, beyond the letter, is there anything else? Both parties said no. And they said, okay, meeting's adjourned. Again, when I tell you it was a nothing burger, everybody was on the edge of their seats waiting for something. When it came to being a nothing burger, it was a giant nothing burger. And then, of course, they released the letter to the public. So we lie in wait to see whatever tricks Diddy's team, and we're sure they have up their sleeves to make sure that Diddy, even with those 2 sex crime convictions, is not held accountable for what he's done.